We are continuing to follow developments in Mexico after 2 kidnapped Americans were found dead. 2 others are alive and they have been returned to the U.S. CBS News correspondent Omar Villafranca is outside of the hospital where they're recovering now in Brownsville, Texas.
Good morning. 38-year-old Eric Williams is recovering from surgery at this hospital behind me after he was shot in the leg during the attack. His wife told me when FBI agents came to her door to tell her what happened, she was shocked. This image shows the surviving kidnapping victims, Eric Williams and Latavia McGee, in the back of an ambulance Tuesday before they were returned to the U.S. and admitted to Valley Regional Medical Center in Brownsville, Texas. Their terrifying abduction last Friday is seen here. A U.S. law enforcement source told CBS News investigators believe the notorious Gulf Cartel was responsible for the attack, though it's unclear why Williams and McGee, along with their friends Shaid Woodard and Zindell Brown, were taken at gunpoint in Matamoros, in the state of Tamaulipas.
Como resultado de las acciones.
Tamaulipas Governor Americo Villarreal said the group was moved to multiple locations before being found at a stash house outside the city, adding that the man who was guarding them had been arrested.
To hear his voice, it was just a lot of crying.
We spoke to Eric Williams' wife, Michelle, over the phone as she described the emotional call with her husband, confirming that he was okay.
What did he tell you?
He's just glad to be alive. It's sad because 2 other people lost their lives.
One of McGee's family members told CBS News the group was traveling from South Carolina so she could get a cosmetic procedure, and said McGee had been to the region before for similar reasons. It's not uncommon. More than 1 million Americans traveled to Mexico for health tourism last year, spending about $250 million. But Tamaulipas is one of at least 5 Mexican territories under a State Department do not travel advisory over concerns that include crime and kidnapping.
Attacks on U.S. citizens are unacceptable.
White House Press Secretary Karine Jean-Pierre.
I would make sure that if Americans are thinking about traveling to Mexico, that they certainly heed the call from the State Department.
Mexican officials are still investigating, while U.S. officials are working to get the bodies back of the other victims back onto American soil. But we don't have a timetable for that just yet. Anne-Marie?
All right, Omar, thank you very much. Let us bring in CBS News contributor and anchor for the Spanish language streaming news service En Mas, Enrique Acevedo. He's following the story for us from Mexico City. So first, let's just get the basics, sort of basic update on this story. What can you tell us about the person who's in custody in connection with the kidnapping and deaths of these U.S. citizens?
Hi, Anne-Marie. Well, what we know is that that person is someone who was hired to look after the stash house where the 4 Americans were found. Really someone who's not directly involved in the kidnapping and then in keeping these 4 American citizens captive for more than 3 days. The investigation continues to try to establish the responsibility of others involved in this horrible crime.
So chances are this is sort of a low-level individual in this sort of grand scheme.
Absolutely.
You heard Omar talk about the number of Americans that cross the border for various medical procedures. In this case, we're talking about a cosmetic procedure. But I imagine there are a lot of Americans right now who have appointments that are, thinking again about whether or not this is a good decision to make. What are the concerns for Americans heading south of the border to get medical procedures, whether it's something that they feel that they really need or something that's just, optional for them?
Yeah, well, the reality, Anne-Marie, is that 12 billion people live across both sides of the U.S.-Mexico border, and everyday life for them looks like going to school on one side, maybe going to the doctor, going to get gas in Mexico, and then going back to the U.S. For work reasons. So it's a very fluid situation for a lot of them who, by the way, have a dual citizenship. They're both American and Mexican. And then there's people who travel from all over the U.S. and other places in North America, like Canada, to try to get procedures, cosmetic procedures, or even buy medicine in Mexico because it's cheaper. And in the case of the U.S., because we're very well aware of all the problems in our healthcare system and how costly it could be for families to go through something like that.
So I'm curious then, how is this being covered in the media in Mexico?
That's a great question. It's one of those rare situations in which both the U.S. media and Mexican media are aligned in their coverage and in their level of interest in the story. It really doesn't happen that often, but what we've seen in the last couple of days, really since Friday night, is nonstop coverage from the most important platforms, both in the U.S. and in Mexico, with trying to get reporters on the ground and as much information as we can.
All right, Enrique, thank you very much.
Thank you.